I need a 10-hour version. I need a 10-hour version. Fuck. Okay. Oh god. I have at this point been emotionally overloaded with too many things to talk about, so I don't even know where to begin.
Begin with, hey, this is welcome to dkgWELP, the Drunk Kids Gaming Podcast. You know, we've been here, we've been there. 2020, it's a year. Deal with it.
At this point, yeah. We've had our ups and downs. We're not immune to the same emotions that everyone else is going along. If you've been part of the Discord, you're pretty much aware of it. Kaz is currently, for those audio listeners, going through a triage moment right now as he murdered his secondary keyboard for his other computer. If you were in the pre-show, he definitely spilled a Pabst Blue Ribbon on on his keyboard, which then, as he was declaring, "It's fine. It's gonna be good. It'll be great." As he dumped the liquid out of it, all of its lights went out, and now he's at that stage where I've been with laptops and computers that I've been trying to repair, where it's just like, I'm gonna set this aside for a few days and put a bag of rice next to it and hope it comes back to life.
No, I spilled shit in that keyboard a few times, and I've already brought it back to life, and I already I already bought a second one because of how much I spill shit.
How does it have lights?
Keyboard.
Is it?
No, this is a separate keyboard.
Is it plugged in?
I bought the same exact keyboard twice.
Did you just plug it in, or has it been plugged in this whole time as a backup?
No. So you know I have two PCs now. So
I guess
this is plugged into one, and that's plugged into the other one.
Do you have a backup for the secondary keyboard though?
No, I don't have a backup for the secondary one. I have two mice. Yeah. I have the same exact mouse twice because I'm one of those weirdos that it has to feel a certain way.
Mice are one thing. The keyboard wise, I do have it's zip tied. I was gonna show it. It's right here. Yeah. It stopped me dead. But I love this keyboard and all, but I have been prone obviously to drink spillage for doing stupid things like picking up my keyboard and trying to show it to a camera during a podcast. But what I have in the cupboard of my spare parts area is 3 of those throwawayable HP or Dell keyboards that you get free with the computer that are just that no one uses when they buy a new computer, so they end up in the recycling or the trash. And I just take them and I keep them in there. Those are the backups, and those things have come in handy when there's been the middle of a fucking night and I'm just like, damn it, I need something to plug in.
I do need one. I have a. Where is it? I have a. Where the fuck is it? I have a a little Logitech mouse around here. It's the $15 mouse. When I killed my one of my mice too, that is
you need them.
That is the in between while I'm waiting for the Amazon of the mouse that I actually want to come in now.
It was
sorry, just keep that one around. I need to get a keyboard for that. Maybe I'll just get one of those those little gel roll up ones. Just to punish myself for whenever I break a keyboard, you got to use one of those little fucking.
You get the ergonomic ones with the rolly bar. Those are ridiculous. I had it was right after I had rewired everything in my entire studio, and I had my gamer mouse, which was wired into the whole loom of everything. I had the little split loom that you could zip tie and everything. Everything was cord cable managed. and that mouse straight up died. Like 2 of the buttons stopped working, and at first it was the side buttons, and I was like, I don't care. And then the right click went away, and I was like, all right, it's time. It's been 2 or 3 years. This mouse has got to go. And I just snipped its cord off of the fucking out of the loop because I wasn't gonna rewire that. And then I had this like sad individual cable lying across my entire thing as I waited for the Amazon package to get here of the new mouse. And I was just like, it just every time I got on the computer, I'm like, it's a bullshit mouse. There's a sad cable running across all of my nice, clean setup. That was some beautiful seals. Doing the favorite.
One of our favorite songs, "Kiss from a Rose."
Reggie's asking like, why were you humming "Kiss from a Rose"? And I was like, because I looked at the fucking title of the video. Guess that, man, I couldn't stop. Like, that's that shit. That's an earworm and a half. That gets in your head. There's no. I challenge anybody. You can't stop once you start.
Yeah, I think Puck put that in there, so I grabbed that one from Puck, and like as soon as I saw the title too, I've just been like, baby.
As soon as it starts,
yeah.
It's hard, and then again, it's gonna be for the rest of the week. That's broken me for the rest of the week.
Oh yeah, you can't do anything else.
Oh Lord.
Because at some point you're gonna be like, I just have to listen to it, so you're gonna pull it up on YouTube and listen to it in the background while you're doing that. Like,
yeah, no, absolutely. We know it, but it's that breakdown, and I'm not even gonna go into it because we've talked about it a million times. But fuck. That is one of the best build-ups to a fucking chorus or whatever you call it. That again, baby. Everyone has to scream. It's the equivalent of the R&B. It's the R&B equivalent of 5 golden rings. Someone you have to scoot in from the other room to fucking scream it at the top of your lungs. It's fantastic. So how you been doing, man? We haven't podcasted in a while.
Yeah,
the world's done, right? We're fixed. Everything's fixed. It's good.
Fucking everything's back to normal. Fucking all the status quos are happening. Fucking we got rid of the coronavirus. We defeated racism. Everything's going great.
It's actually going to turn out to be a great year, I think. Is with racism done, check. Coronavirus check. I'm pretty confident there's just going to be a meteor at some point. That's going to be 2020. It's going to be Deep Impact starts this year. We're just waiting on it. And then we just start throwing pots and pans into space. We did send people to space. That was kind of cool.
Oh, yeah. People were calling them the heroes. They're like, oh, shit, you got off the planet?
No, yeah. Bob and Doug, y'all made the smart maneuver. Get the fuck out.
But yeah, so there's a lot of shit going on in the world right now. A lot of Twitter videos out there of just humans being, I guess, humans. Like, there's nothing else to call them. They're just being humans.
I mean, I know there's a lot more of this going on than this joke will let up. But at the same time, like, I did make the comment that when we start to slowly open up the country with this COVID shit, that a lot of people are going to need to shake out that crazy. And I didn't know they'd be shaking them boots this hard. But Lordy Jesus. But I think
it's a good day. It's a good day. I mean, there's good shit going on, you know, in light of unfortunate situations, and there are people trying to do really, really good things out there right now. So like, more power to those people. Fucking definitely support those people. Be on the right side of history. And do all that. Other than that, yeah, everything's been good. Fucking now that I got the new setup, we've been doing some streaming, doing more podcasting stuff. We were talking about in the pre-show that me and JVZ were talking about still how all these sports are trying to figure out how they're gonna sport.
Yeah, because in case you don't follow the news, right? The idea is that we're gonna open sports up, but we're just gonna endanger the players like usual. But none of the fans are allowed in, so it's going to be are they doing it in? Because again, I'm asking the sports odds and then fucking co-host over here. I don't look this stuff up. I rely on you. Are these going to be in stadiums and shit? Like,
yeah.
They're going to just fucking full on. Like, why don't just play it on a high school fucking football field? Like, you can play it anywhere. You don't need capacity. Like,
so basketball is talking about using like 1 to 2 stadiums and just having all the players come there and play out the rest of the games in those 1 or 2 places.
I like that.
Like not use every arena and every
stadium.
stadium.
You don't gotta do a home game and you fly around and all that shit. Oh.
Yeah. You pick 1 or 2 locations and you have everybody play the rest of their games from there.
I mean, really, it doesn't matter. Again, you could do it in a high school fucking basketball fucking stadium. Like, you don't need the capacity. You just need the cameras and shit and all that stuff, I guess. So.
And then it allows them to keep people kind of quarantined and all that kind of stuff. Hockey is still in negotiations for their shit. Football so football was doing their talkie, but then all the players were like, hey, since everybody else is saying it, y'all racist, and then they were like, "Oh shit!"
I mean, I don't want to. Again, we don't usually like to get too involved in current events that are actually real here, because usually this is a place to fucking avoid that stuff. But damn, if I did not spend a lot of time on Murdered by Words this weekend on Reddit. And motherfucking Reddit, so the NFL fucking brand, because we love them brand Twitter accounts. The NFL brand Twitter account put out the message that everyone's putting out, which is like, oh, we stand by all of our diverse players, and we wish for everyone to be equal and blah blah blah. And someone responded to that Twitter with, damn, if only there was someone in your institution, in your organization, that actually tried to make a stand for this and bring awareness to the issue that was going on. It's like, fuck, dude.
Yeah, they got called out. So now they're dealing with that. They're dealing with the backlash of that and trying to figure that out. Baseball was getting pretty close to figuring out their shit, but then the players were like, yo, how about this? We'll only play 114 games. And then the owners were like, fuck you. And so the players were like, oh, yeah? Fuck you, too.
Oh, good. Good discourse.
So now we might not have baseball at all.
We're done with baseball. All right.
We
Sweet.
might be done with baseball.
Oh, we cured baseball this year, too. Shit. All right. It's happening. I love this. No, that's got to be hard for the owner. I mean, not to say anything's hard for the owners of any of these teams, but Jesus, without, like, the stupid shitbox amount of money that they make over like ticket boxes and hot dogs that are $95 and shit, like, how are they
make so much goddamn money, man. They make like ridiculous amounts of money on a lot of this shit.
But as much as the country, quote unquote, wants people to have sports going, right? Like, because the players want to play, the people want to watch. But the owners that actually run these teams, there's no incentive for them to do any of this shit until they can get people in the seats, right? Like, I mean, all that stuff about TV blackouts and stuff. Like, how are they going to monetize sports?
Well, so part of the problem is a lot of these teams make TV deals based on the amount of games they're going to play. So that's why you have things like blackout dates. So they've already lost a lot of revenue. So at a certain point, those TV contracts are almost incentive based, where it's like, oh, we're gonna get so much of export throughout the year or whatever, so in that agreement we'll pay you this. It's getting to that point where people are gonna be like, well, so we didn't get X amount of sports, so I'm gonna need my money back. So
you get that refund.
Like, wait, hold on. Like, they all here checking receipts, so it's like, hold on, let me work something out. I'll get you some sports, baby. I'll get you something. So people are trying to fulfill those contracts the best way they can, so that they can keep that money.
So who gets the money when I watch sports on /r/NFL streams?
I mean, if there's a Coors Light ad, the NFL still.
I'm sure there is, but my Amazon Fire doesn't show ads too well. It doesn't pop up anything when I watch those sports. I don't have any of those subscriptions. It's hard.
Yeah.
I don't actually care.
But yeah, no, like yeah, there's enough people that buy jerseys and fucking enough football paraphernalia and fucking take trips to the Hall of Fame. They're fine. They're
those
fine.
those hundreds of dollar jerseys and shit that people fucking rock.
Yeah.
What's that? So I did have one story that wasn't that I wasn't probably going to use, but it just had it here queued up. But so I guess the NBA is considering using NBA 2K sounds for crowd noise in the background of their games.
Yeah, so this was another thing me and JVZ talked about, was like people trying to decide if they are or aren't going to live in the kayfabe of sports, right? And try to act like everything is all hunky dory, right? Like we said, right? Like live in this realm where like the thing you're coming to do right now doesn't have to deal with the outside world, so let's make it as normalized as possible. And it's like my thought and theory is why even do that? Like I feel like that's just weird because now there's just a man standing there like woo, just hit the button like
The
fucking waiting
same
for somebody to
canned
do
audio.
something. Fucking, yeah.
I mean,
Like what are you doing?
Again, I get just like you said, I get the desire to kind of have that, it's not the new normal, it's the old normal. We're back, baby.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like I see that that's silly, but at the same time, I also like if you've watched any of the late night TV show hosts or any newscasters even that have been doing shit from home, it's really weird, especially with the late night stuff. Like, it's really weird listening to because it's the same writers, right? And it's written for a live studio audience, and a lot of the times they're I mean they're classically trained to have the cadence of being like joke, joke, joke. Yeah, and they still pause for that at their house, and there's no one there.
This for me is where you've learned who is really good at entertaining and who isn't, right? Like who needs that crutch of a crowd. Like the Jimmies have been terrible.
The Jimmies,
they're shit.
Nice.
But like Trevor Noah has like,
oh yeah,
he's fucking stepped up to it. Fucking a couple of other people have done really well too. Like I know people were talking about it, but like it's just kind of become this thing where you start to look at these people and you're like, oh man, your jokes and without the echo chamber of other people laughing is shit.
I mean, it's almost like you could literally see the people that you could put a fucking robot and stick the fucking writer script into the robot and just be like, hey everybody, I flew in on a Blair, and then they're just laughter, and yeah. Most of America's like, hey, I love this because I feel like I'm laughing along with the. It tells me when to laugh. It's great. But you get real comedians. It's fun. Yeah. I've been enjoying it. I've been enjoying just watching the entire fucking system fall apart. It's bananas.
I would love to, Reggie. I doubt he. I mean, never say never, but yeah. I don't know.
I don't know. I gotta have.
We gotta get a Twitter thread or something going for something like that.
We usually our only way of doing anything is our degrees of separation with certain people, and I don't know if we have an avenue towards Trevor Noah at this point. I don't even know. I know the wheelhouse that we have. The wheelhouse doesn't have that, at least at this point. We'll see. Maybe some people get desperate when Trevor Noah gets real desperate. We'll see what happens. But yeah, so yeah, we're doing a podcast and we're here. I'm streaming as much as I can, as usual. I've been playing. Well, shit. I started The Last of Us again because Last of Us 2 is coming out.
Yeah, I saw you do that.
I know you hate it. I know you hate your shit.
Look.
It's gonna be the thing that's talked about in like 2 weeks. Okay, we might as well.
And that's fine. But here's my thing: my thing with Last of Us is it's a shit game. I just think it would have been a better movie. And I think from a viewer standpoint, it's a great thing, right? Because for the person watching it, it's fun. Playing it, no matter what difficulty you put it on, is the saddest thing you have ever done in your fucking life.
I agree. I agree.
Like, there is no difficulty to that game whatsoever. It is fucking Ladder Simulator 20 fucking whenever it came out. Like, it's just like, hi, it's fucking, I'm on a ladder. Oh, how do I solve this puzzle? Oh, there's a ladder over here.
I've talked many times that I love to promote amazing games, and as much as I do love Last of Us, it is not a great game. It is not a great game. It plays like a potato. And one of my favorite things I ever did was getting my friend Sarah. I wanted her to. It was most people here have met Sarah, but people that do know her, she needed to see the story that was in it. There was no chance in hell she's going to sit in front of a fucking 14-hour video game. at all. No chance in hell. Either if I played it or she played it, there's no chance in hell she's ever going to do it. But she needed to get the story, and I needed her to have it in her life. So someone on YouTube had put together a fucking Last of Us movie on YouTube where they actually cut together not only just the cutscenes, but like the in-game stuff that is pertinent to the story. And they made a 6-hour fucking YouTube video. And I was like, there, we'll just watch that shit. It's fine. It's great. But one of these days they'll come out with it. Anyways, the new game's coming out. I can't wait for it. It's probably going to be what I do until it comes out, because 4 hours a day.
All right, so there is The Last of Us, and then there was that DLC thing, and then now this is like the big official 2, right?
Yes, the actual 2. The DLC came out a couple years after, or a year afterwards, and that's kind of the reason I'm really excited to replay this, because you've made fun of me before. I did try to recapture The Last of Us like 2 years after I streamed it the first time, and I played through it, so it seemed like I had done it a bunch of times. But the DLC I only did the one time, and I do recall the DLC being pretty damn phenomenal. Story was pretty great, a lot shorter. It was about 3.5 hours, I think. Don't you fucking dare, Jess! Jesus Christ, I don't even know why she knows that. Honestly, one of the reasons I started streaming was because I watched God, what's his name? Spoon? That's his fucking name. I Am Spoon. That's his name. His streamer name. I watched that man play that shit. PS3 2015, and I was like, Twitch is pretty cool. This is cool. This is a cool place to be. And I went and I borrowed a dude's PlayStation 3, and I got the game on Redbox. And I fucking played it and streamed it on composite cables. It was great. It's a fun time.
I remember those days of you going to get games on Redbox and fucking being like, well, we got to beat this in 2 days because I got to send it back.
Is this everywhere? Redbox doesn't do games anymore.
Yeah, I think that was everywhere.
I used to always check, and it kind of dried up, right? But I would still have that like moment where I'd walk into the Vons and it'd be right there. So I'd be like, beep boop boop, what games are in here? And I went up to it, and the whole game section's removed. It's just gone. And then they have a little section for selling them, and they're just selling the games that are still in the boxes. They're just getting rid of them. Like, I was like, all right, I guess we're done here. That didn't work out. Is GameFly still a thing? The Netflix, but Netflix when it was DVDs, but in the game version? Like, you don't have to Google it. If you don't know, you don't know. It's fine.
No, let's see.
I remember GameFly was pretty badass. GameFly, I used to get Nintendo DS games from, and Game Boy.
They do games and movies
in physical format.
Unlimited rentals per month. One game or movie out at a time.
Yeah, they had tiers, right? So they had one tier, the baseline tier, where you could just say, "I want this game," and they mail it to you, and then you have it. And when you're done with it, you mail it back. You get a different game, and it doesn't cost anything. You just fucking do it, and then you can do like a tier where there's like 3 of them. So you just get 3 games in, and you're just like, games.
So it looks like right now.
Those are sponsorships we should fucking have, guys.
They have 2 games or movies out at a time for $13.50 per month for 3 months, and then after that, it's $22.95 per month.
Bitch, you could buy a game in 3 months. That's too much. That's too much money.
Yeah, no, that's a big cost. That's a yikes, man.
I don't feel like I've ever bought a DVD in my life.
Yeah, I don't know how this is working for them.
Do you own a DVD? Have you owned a DVD before?
I have DVDs. Like, I don't use them for anything. Like,
I do notice that for the audio listeners, you did just point to the gerbil living box that's back behind you. Is that a home for a gerbil?
The gerbil living box.
The tissue paper box. That's
I knocked that down. I knocked that down when I was getting fucking tissues to fucking wipe my keyboard off with.
That's for your pet mouse.
And I just decided not to pick it back up.
Fair.
Which for keyboard check, there are more lights on, but not all the lights are on.
I literally on top of my fridge right now have a laptop that someone had to recycle because they the ticket came in that said, "I am so sorry, I covered my laptop in tea." And what do I do? And they said to replace it, so we ended up recycling. So I was like, well, it's either going to go to trash and fill up a landfill somewhere or whatever, or I'll do whatever. So I dried it off. I put a bunch of rice next to it, and it's sitting on top of my fridge right now. And I think it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be okay eventually. It's just gonna take a couple weeks. Dry it all out. Get some silica packets. Throw it in there.
Yeah, that's what like. Can't you order like just a box of those things at this point?
Yeah, they come from me on eBay. I have a tiny little bin that I throw silica packets in from every package I open at any place that I work at, and I just keep them. And people ask me for all the time. This one guy asked me if he wanted a bunch of silica packets because he had ammunition he didn't want to dry out, or he wanted to dry out. He didn't want it to get moist in the humidity. I was like, whatever, it's cool.
Yeah.
Oi. I don't know, Kaz. You're actually Googling silica packet fucking manufacturers right now?
120 packets for $10 on Amazon.
I don't know why I saved them.
No, you can just get these ones, 100 for $8.
You want the big ones, though. The ones that are like a fucking beanbag. Like
that's what these ones look
like.
Hell
yeah. And then you...
Oh, yeah. These ones are the good ones, man. Fucking... Oh, they're out of stock. All right, Amazon's forever lying to me. They say everything is out of stock when I click on it. You fucking liars, Amazon. It's not out of stock.
It's COVID times, dude. They don't have any idea. Their fucking algorithm's broken. Everything I order says it'll. Yeah, you know what? I think we're gonna shoot for December. It'll be at your door, and then after you order it, they're like, all right, well, it'll be there in a week. It's fine. Like, don't worry about it.
Something I ordered, and it was like, hey, sorry, it's going to take us a while. It'll probably get to you in like 3 months. I know. And then like, I was like, all right, whatever, fuck it. I'll pay for it anyway. And then it was like, now that you paid for it, it'll be there tomorrow. I'm like, you piece of garbage.
I told you there's that one time that the DDR machine broke. This one dude ordered or whatever. And it was a long story short, it was a fucking big arcade cabinet, but he got it from a fucking auction or whatever, and the what is known as the motherboard for it, which was this unit that was on a metal bracket that you could slide out, was literally a PlayStation 2, but it was modded. I'm not even fucking joking. It was a PlayStation 2 with a modded hard drive in it and a bunch of fucking cables coming out of it, and that's what the motherboard for the fucking cabinet for Bomani's fucking Dance Dance Revolution Extreme 2 was. And that's what they apparently commonly did when it started transition to being like cheaper to just be like, hey, we can do microprocessors versus like dedicated boards and shit. It was a fucking Japanese PS2, right? And long story short, the guy asked like, hey, we should save that hard drive. Like, just it's a fucking laptop hard drive. Why not just clone it in case it ever goes bad? Because it's a spindle hard drive. It's going to go bad at some point. And so we did it, but it apparently it had built-in fail safes, like opening a money pack at a bank that you rob from, like it explodes ink in your face. This thing self-destructed if you plugged the hard drive into anything and powered it at all. And it was just apparently after it stopped working, I Googled it and I was like, holy shit, this is a real thing. They're like, this thing dies. And the only option is to replace there's no way to get that hard drive filled with that data. The only way to get it is to buy the whole fucking motherboard unit, which costs more than the machine itself. Like on Bomani's Japanese fucking website. And I literally called them fuckers. Like, I don't call people for shit. And I called them. And their help center was like, hey, they're like, why do you want to buy this? It's an old fucking extreme. It costs, it's $1,000. Like, you don't want this. And I was like, no, this guy wants it and we have to fucking fix it. So whatever it costs, we're going to do it. And he's like, no, but it's $1,000. Like, and it's going to take forever to get there. He kept trying to talk me out of it. Talking me out of it. And I was like, no, we have to do it. Whatever it is, like, here's a credit card. And he was like, okay. And when we finally got to the point where there was no chance he's going to talk me out of it, he was like, all right, dude, we can give it to you like for $300. Like, it's not a big deal. He's like, we don't even fucking need it. It's just here. You just take it. Like, it was just the price was set to say, just please don't, just not right now. Like, whatever. But then at the same time, they're like, yeah, whatever. Like,
no, but I like that's really interesting because like you think about that kind of shit and you think it's more than what it needs to be, right? But like probably now you could build an arcade cabinet
Yeah.
With probably like just a fucking cheapo fucking Mobo.
You make a whole arcade cabinet of a fucking Raspberry Pi and a fucking...
Yeah.
The only thing you need, the biggest thing you need, which isn't even that expensive, is what's known as a JAMA board or a JAMA interface board, which is basically something that goes from interface buttons like what's it called? Like the arcade buttons and joysticks. And it takes those potentiometer fucking button presses. All of those things go into a board, and that one board has a USB out that goes to whatever your computer is. And it does that interpretation. And the reason it's a little bit more expensive than usual is that it's the millisecond response time. You need that shit to be fucking quick.
Yeah.
And it's phenomenal. Like it's very cheap to make a fucking arcade camera. The most expensive component is your time and the wood. Like it's just maybe the LCD you're gonna use. Luna, get the fuck out of here. Last time she was fucking down here earlier today, she fucking unplugged my computer. Get out. Out.
Yeah, we've seen a bunch of that on all over the internet, man.
Yeah. Right. She's fucking making noises now.
Oh God. Yo, let's do news.
Yeah, okay. Sorry, fuck shit. Cat
Once
abuse.
the cat tries to interrupt the podcast, I think that's transition.
I just was like, I felt her by my toes, and she's starting to bat.
Yeah,
she's starting to bat the power cable that plugs literally the power strip that takes all of my computer monitors out. And she did it earlier in the middle of a fucking Zelda run that me and Steve were doing, and I was just like, "You monster!" All right. Anyways, news time.
dkgWELP. Let's fill that knowledge hole. With Kaz and Carly's news time.
Oh. Welcome to the news section. This is the section of the show where we talk about news from around the internet. You can participate in this part of the show if you join our Discord. Links are down below. In there, you'll see a channel called the dkgWELP Podcast where you can add stories to the doc, much like this one. So, Carly, we are two men of very bachelor-esque descent, right?
Yeah.
So
definitely still single here, everyone, in case you live in the San Diego Tri-County area and you're looking for love in all the wrong places.
Yeah. So let's say, right, you go through the rigmarole, you get married, you know, you don't have the greatest in-laws in the world, but you know, hey, they're humans and they live where they live, you live where you live, right? What would you do if they bought the house next door to yours? Your in-laws were like,
how long?
Hey,
are we in escrow still? Did we actually go through the paperwork? Can I?
You've been living here for some time.
Oh, that's bad. That's bad. That's just like, I mean, the fear, of course, for a lot of people, and I guess maybe that's not the fear for a lot of people, but like the idea of your like elderly parents moving in with you at the end of their life, that's terrifying. I mean, there's a reason you leave at fucking 18, 19 shit. Like, you know, you get the fuck out as soon as you can. So this happened to a couple, or?
Well, yeah. So this one lady on a message board called Mumsnet, I guess that's some UK shit. Yeah, it's some UK shit. Said her very judgmental in-laws moved into the house next door and
the other person's parents.
Yeah, have caused her to feel like they're going to just ruin the bliss of her family forever. So she is at the point where she's considering divorcing her husband.
She could try talking to said husband, but I feel that. I mean, I don't think that. I mean, I might be jumping to conclusions there, to issues, but yeah, I wouldn't want that. I mean, your in-laws, your parents, even your own fucking flesh and blood parents, those are the ones you see, you know, Christmas, Thanksgiving, maybe the occasional weekend where they take care of the kid. You don't have them knock, knock, knock. What you guys watching tonight? You guys want to have movie night? No, we're going to put the kid to bed and bang on the sofa. Like, you don't get the fuck out. You could knock down the fence for a huge backyard. That's just a whole house. Then that's the same thing as living in your Reggie. That's not the same. That's living in the same house. It's just two different buildings on the same plot of land. It's terrifying. I had a terrifying moment where there was a possibility or a potential for a while that I was going to get married. It was on the table, if you will. And we went to visit the grandparents of the lady pants that I was dating at the time, and it was for a wedding of her mother actually, and this guy. So we went out there, and it's in the middle of Georgia, and they have more land out there for those that are not from San Diego. There's a lot of land, and this guy had a lot of land surrounded by trees and everything. And I remember, since I was the prospective, new family member possibly coming in, I had the talk with him outside where he pointed to the hill that he would build me a house on and told me I could live right over there, and then he'd build a house for my girlfriend's mother over on that hill. And then, don't worry, we could share the well until we get our well up and going. And I had that, I think I was like 24. I had a fucking shock moment where I wasn't okay. I was like, I need to not have this conversation anymore. Jesus.
Yeah. So this lady is all like, kind of same thing. She's just like, I just don't want to have to feel like I have to talk to them every day. You know what I mean? Like, she's like, there's just days where I want to just chill and hang out in my garden, and I don't want them popping their head over the fence every 2 minutes, expecting me to want to chat with them.
It's going to be every day. I mean, if they don't work, they're going to be in the house. They're going to be like, hey, let's make a cake. Let's fucking hang out. Oh, I'm going to take a nap on your couch.
Yeah, she said like the intrusion is already like dire because she didn't expect them to want the house in the first place because it needed renovations, but they ended up buying it and they have people working on it. And she's like, they have been driving week to check on the work that's being done, and then it just is like they're constantly in their house, like coming. Then she's like, the intrusion is already like very much being felt, that she feels like it's just gonna get worse when they actually do live right next door to them and like constantly expect them to come over or they're constantly, she's like, I just don't want to have to deal with unwanted guests at some point at all. Like, that's just not something I want to deal with.
Yeah, that's the definition of an unwanted guest, family members. God. I have a sort of similar story. That's just only triggered by the fear of marriage. But Iran apparently, as of today, has proposed. The government of Iran has proposed a singles tax for anyone that isn't married by the age of 28. You gotta pay a penalty on your taxes if you're not married by the age of 28, and they're also working on one that is levying taxes if you haven't had a child at a certain point in your marriage time. And it has got Iran Twitter fucking freaked out. like there is let's see if this actually comes up on Twitter. It never links to the actual Twitter. But no, there's just like I obviously I don't have we don't have the translation, but this is just Iranian Twitter. That's like, they're proposing a singles tax for anyone that's not married by the age of 28. It's like, fuck, dude. It's gotta be some fucking harsh shit.
That's some. Oh my god, man! Like, countries propose that kind of shit on you. Like, I think there used to be something like that here in like the 40s and 50s, like the one family law or some shit, where we were like in the Cold War with Russia, and they were just like,
I get when you're at the
babies.
You're at the point of worrying that, like, your country's only going to survive if you all keep making fucking citizens, right? But I think the world is in a different place than that, and I don't know. I mean, didn't China just recently relax their whole one-child policy thing? Like, Because that was the whole like you can only have one kid for a good long time.
Well, I think it was.
But that was because population control. That was the opposite side.
Yeah. I think they finally were like, hey, girls aren't that bad. Because I think the whole thing was like.
Well, it became an issue because you really can only, because of sexism and all that shit, you can't really transfer property and the dynasty of your fucking family name down to a female. And so it became like, oh shit, well, if we only gonna have one child, then I need it to be a fucking boy, otherwise my family line dies right there. Shit.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Because I think they were like, yeah, you could have so many boys, but you just like it was for the long time you just couldn't have girls. So girls constantly got like
I don't know if that's true.
like sent out into the street. Hold on, let me see.
No, that'd be terrible. This is literally like a government mandated ticking time bomb of clocks of your fucking your internal clock.
Couples to have. Okay, so China, the new policy allowing Chinese couples to have 2 children was proposed in order to help address the aging issue in China. 2015, the new law was passed, which government's laws. Yeah, so now you can have 2.
Yeah, because their population is potatoes and bananas. Potatoes and bananas. Oh, wrong button. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. It sucks.
Yeah, and then it's just weird, man. If you go down that rabbit hole, I advise you don't go down that rabbit hole.
Well, it's a government annoying aunt that is like, when are you gonna have children? I'm gonna take you out of the will if you don't have children. It's terrifying. Speaking of religion, I do have another story about the
about the Pope.
Sort of the Greek Pope.
Okay.
Is there a Greek Pope? No, there's not a Greek Pope. There's only one Pope, I think. I have no idea.
There used to be a lot of them, and now we're down to one. A few of them killed each other.
It's a Roman Catholic. Was there a War of Popes? That's a fucking HBO show I would watch. Like the Pope Wars. That's an anime that should be out there right there. And they all fucking can conjure fucking magic and shit. Because that's what popes do, right? They have fucking bolts, spell bolts and shit. Do popes have spells? I'm sure they can. On a different story, I actually have a priest. Did you catch this recently?
Oh, let's see.
So obviously COVID times, it's been crazy. Everyone's trying to get their stuff done. People are freaking out about whatever they think that they need. Haircuts are one of them. Salons and whatnot. Church has been a big thing because obviously church is just a big place where everyone nuzzles up to each other, and that's a bad place for a virus that's transmissible by that. But the church has got a church, so everyone's been freaking out. This is Father Tim Pelk over in DoneMatterTown.com. He had a great solution where he was going to do drive-by. You've seen some of these, the drive-by Easter blessings and whatnot.
Okay.
So this was May 18th. But he decided that he wasn't going to risk himself on those drive-by, whatever they do with the ash on the head and the fucking holy water and all that fucking eat the body of Christ and shit. So he got himself a holy water-filled squirt gun and was just spraying down the passerbyers for the congregation while he was holding his holy Bible and his N95 mask. And I think it's badass. I mean, I'd be down. I mean, do you just smile and wave as you get your fucking like roll down the windows, kids? We're getting fucking squirted down by Pope Tim. Like, I think it's great. Oh, Greenpoint, Michigan. This is Michigan. Fair enough. But yeah, looking for something to save us.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's been trying to figure this out. I didn't put this in here, but like to kind of go along with that one, it was there was a story I think Puck or one of the other kids put in there that was like, oh yeah, like fucking down in down in Miami, people are doing drive-by Botox because
I have that story. I have that story right here. It's fucking literally right here. This motherfucking kid's getting Botox. This Florida man's getting Botox.
I'm like, what the fuck? Like there's a point where you just have to not, man. You just have to be like, oh, look at her fucking forehead.
That's what Botox looks like, dude. That's normal. That's not even
Girl, you look like you got stung by 100 bees. Like, no, there's no reason to look like that. Like, that shit is just raunchy, bro. You look bad, man.
Drive-through Botox injections in the garage of his building in Miami neighborhood of Ball Harbor. That's what I'm saying. That's what I was saying is as this stuff starts opening up, people got to shake the crazies out. You think what's essential, and then you've been cooped up in your house for 2.5, 3 months. You're fucking gonna go out there and be like, I don't know what I need. It's the Botox right now. I think it's Botox. People are nuts. I love it. Yeah. They're offering discounts right now, though. So if you need your Botox, get down to Miami, dude.
Yo, no discount plastic surgery, bro. That's how you end up on fucking Botched. Have you ever seen the show Botched?
No.
Oh my god,
I don't need to watch that.
So
I imagine what it is. I don't need to see that.
No, it's great, man. So for those who have never seen it, chat, go. It's on like TLC or one of those fucking channels like that. Go check out Botched, right? Because Botched is a show where normally white people, right? Normally white people are on there and they've had some kind of plastic surgery and somewhere along the lines it fucked up, right? And then they go to these two doctors who are just fucking ass clowns and make fun of them and are just like
but they're doctors.
They're just like, they're plastic surgeons.
But they're real. They're real. They went through a exam. They went through all the shit.
And like there was the one I was watching the other day where this chick, like, she grew up, she got bullied for not having boobs, so like she finally was old enough where she's like, yeah, I want to get some breast implants because it will make me feel more like a woman if I have actual tits and shit. And then her tits fucked up, and then they had to take them out, and then they put in new ones, and those fucked up, and like she went through all this shit, and they were just like, look, you've had this surgery a few times and it just has not stuck. And sometimes you just got to take the card from the universe that is you're not meant to have this thing or whatever.
This is what the doctor said?
Mm-hmm. Like, he's just like, look, sometimes he's like, because you've had basically because he was trying to scare her away from it because a lot of the complications she had, like in the little interview portion, he was like, are actually life threatening.
Oh, okay.
And he's like, and if you fuck up again, you could die. So he's like, I just wanted to see if I could talk her out of it. Like, he's like, you've already, you're married, you got kids, like I don't think you really need to accomplish anything else. Like, and she's like, no, put them titties in there.
I mean, I wish in my career I could just say, hey, this is the third time you've come in for a virus issue or your screen has broken. And it just doesn't seem like you're fit to use computers. I mean, I'm going to put this one on you at this point, right? Like, that's what that sounds like to me as a professional on that side of it. Like, if I fucked up one, it would be even worse if I fucked up the job.
Yeah.
And it'd be like, oh yeah, that hinge broke again. I guess I fucking forgot the screw. But this is the third time. We do it again, you're probably gonna break the plastic. So you don't need the computer anymore. You're 60.
Well, it's also like these people have been to different doctors, and then they come to these dudes, and it's just like, oh, can you fix me, kind of thing. Mm. And it's usually like, oh man, I see where that guy fucked up. Like, there was this one kid who came in because he had, like, him and his twin brother had nose jobs because they had too big of noses, and his was like slightly fucked up. And he's like, I don't feel like me and my brother are close anymore because we don't look alike anymore. And I'm like, brother, your nose slightly goes to the left now. Stop. It's just like, I just want to be closer to my brother again, and the only way to do that is if we look exactly the same because we're identical twins. And it's just like,
from the way that you sold it, though, calling it botched, I was assuming that these medical dudes are fucking people up.
No, they're not.
Okay.
They're looking at
someone
other
else
shit
fucked them up. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so
okay.
now these dudes are the heroes of the.
Oh God! I was like, why are we glorifying and letting these people have licenses at this point?
No. So these guys are like the hero. Like, there's two versions of this show, Botched. There is one where people are real fucked up. Like, they fucking the I went to Mexico and they fucking left there watching me kind of fucking shit. Like, but the new one is just like these two fucking ass clowns who are just make fun of you for having fucked up plastic surgery, and then they fix it.
I was gonna say, I want it to be like a show where it's like Jake from the Olive Garden is like serves you a rat on a fucking pasta platter and is like, you know what? This one's on you. I mean, you came in. I don't think you're allowed to fucking be here anymore.
No, it's like you go to the Olive Garden and then you're like, I had a terrible meal, and you talk to fucking Gordon Ramsay about it, and he's like, of course you did.
Yeah, you went to fucking Jack in the Box. You tried to get the fucking pasta card. You tried to get your all-you-can-eat fucking pasta card. What'd you expect?
Yeah. And then there was like another one where this lady was basically trying to make herself a plastic doll, essentially. So she had like all the Botox and like the giant tits, and like she wanted to make herself like a real life Barbie doll through plastic surgery. And she came in and she's just like, yeah, so like my fucking my boob job is fucked up or whatever. So they do the examination and they're like, yeah, so you want to go bigger than this? This is literally just gonna fucking rip off your chest. We could go smaller. And she was like, no. And she's like, they're like, look, they're just gonna fall the fuck out. Like, your chest can't support this. Like, there's just no way. Like
I just remembered a thing.
Yeah.
And I'm now realizing I don't necessarily. I've never fact checked this, and I'm not even going to Google it because it terrifies me what I would actually have to type to Google this. But I did talk to an ex of mine years out. We dated when we were like 17, and years later we were friends. And we were talking one day. She got a boob job when she was like 20. Mm-hmm. We just gotten on the subject at some point. And she had mentioned that she had recently had to go to the doctor because one of her titties turned upside down. I'm not fucking joking. That's what she said to me. Those are the words that she said to me. And I stood there with my mouth open, agape, and just confused. And she was like, yeah, I was having sex and a titty turned upside down. And they had to fix it. And I was like, holy shit. And then I started thinking about what happens if my dick goes upside down. Like, is that a thing? Like, like what is the equivalent,
Oh, so the equivalent, I already know this, right? The equivalent would probably be
I think I just got a fever.
Torsion.
Oh.
So testicular torsion is when your fucking balls spin.
Oh. Oh, does that happen? Does it fix itself?
No.
Oh.
Wait, does it? I think he's
answering. Does it happen? Oh.
But yeah, your fucking boys spin around in the sack and they end up intertangled.
If you have balls, I think everybody on the podcast has just lost their fucking mind. Everyone has stopped eating food. I'm sorry if you're eating food during this listen. Yeah, no, I've had to explain to many of my friends that have girls that there's just times where like I don't really try to like I don't necessarily hide anything or avoid anything. Like a fart's a fart, a burp's a burp. Most of my friends are the same way, but like there is more than a couple times a week where I just you randomly sit on your balls, and I'm like shit, I sat on my ball, and people are like, really? What? And I'm like, yeah, shit hurts. It happens.
Yeah, that shit hurts, man.
Yeah.
It's just bad. But yeah, no, I heard about it because I like my balls hurt one day really badly, and I was like, oh shit, like, am I dying? And you fucking you WebMD some shit, and you go down the rabbit hole or whatever. And I was reading about like testicular torsion, and I was just like, what? And it's just it can just randomly your shit is just like, whoop. Just...
Like, listen, there's been times where I'm like, where'd my balls go? Like they disappear, they do their own thing. They crawl up inside you, they come out, they fucking hide around the backside. They'll do their own thing.
Yeah.
I'm terrified of them fucking getting themselves all knotted up like a slinky that you fucking, when you lose a slinky, when a slinky is just, you're like, oh shit, something happened. There's no fixing the slinky. It's a dead slinky. And it's just got a twist in it somewhere and there's no fixing it. Oh, that's what I'm scared of, right? One of the metal slinkies. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, yeah. That's pretty much what it is, man. It's just they just spin and
you just throw the whole human out good. At that point. We're gonna have to get you a new. I don't even know what that is. What is the thing that I don't even? You know what? I'm not gonna even go down that road. Everyone's gonna make fun of me. What's the bouncy stringy bit that your ballsies are hanging on to? Like what's the tie? What's the string? What's the point that gets torsioned? Oh, it's terrifying. I'm going away from ball talk now.
Yeah. Here, let me do it. Let me do another one.
Please.
It'll get us away from this. What is this one? Okay, so it's this one. All right. So I think this is a Florida man story. Might not be, but so a man was arrested for breaking and entering into a home with a weapon, but he was acquitted for it due to the fact that he said it was a mistake. That was not the home that he meant to break into, because the actual story was the man was trying to fulfill a fantasy of someone else, in which he was going to break into their home and tie them up, and he got the address wrong.
Did he tie someone up though? Oh,
I didn't get that far in the story, but
that's a big oof. That's like, oh yeah, our fantasy was why don't you know the safe word? Shit. Like you go into someone else's house and you're like, oh, my fantasy is to a B&E. Just do it all B&E. And oh no, that's terrifying. I don't like that. It's frightening.
Yeah.
I hate that you quitted.
Here, I'll link it. Let me see if he actually tied somebody up. While I figure this out, because I want to know now, and I didn't read that far down, but yeah. So basically, it was some NSFW sex fantasy shit where he was gonna fucking break in, tie him up, and they were gonna do the dues, but he got the address wrong and ended up breaking into the wrong home.
If you're doing a fucking a B&E sex fantasy with someone, and you apparently haven't been to their house. How you get the address wrong? Is this a Tinder first hookup?
Kind of, something like that.
Oh, yeah. Choice is.
Oh, this is an Australia story. So there you go.
Australia.
Would-be client had a history of
client. They ordered it and it was an escort service, a little special.
Making arrangements with a man on Facebook for people to engage in role play. He sent his address, which he later updated after moving to another home.
Whoopsie doodles. How long does this order take? Man had time to get into escrow and move his entire
address.
That means the other person that got broken into just moved in.
Yeah.
You imagine moving in day 2 and someone breaks in and fucking ties you up and tries to have a sex fantasy with you? I'm leaving that area. It's terrifying.
Yeah, so it was two men too. So
Even
they broke in, assuming it was one of his friends who came by. He yelled, "Bugger off!" After hearing a voice ask if his name was that of the intended client, the resident turned on his bedside light, took his mask off, and saw two men standing next to his bed with machetes pointed at the ground. They started to leave after he told them what his name was, which is not the intended client. One man apologizes and says, "Sorry, mate," shook the resident's hand, while the other said bye before they drove off.
Australia is a fucking weird country. They're like Canadian friendly, right? Yeah. Oh yeah. Get your house. How'd you get in? They broke in. Fuck. They had machetes. Jesus Christ. There's so many bad things that could go wrong. So many bad things. I don't like this. Your story sucks. This story's terrifying. But oh shit, no. Hold on. One of my tabs. There is a story I had from Australia that I might as well piggyback on. Oh yeah. This is the Prime Minister in Australia. So I wanted this to be an opening video at some point for us, but the audio isn't that great because it needs an explanation as well. But apparently the Prime Minister of Australia decided to do a reporter like meet and greet kind of thing out on the field, like so it looks like they're out there, among the people doing the thing. Mm-hmm. And he's trying to have this conversation about a briefing and whatnot that he was doing, and he was standing on the lawn of some fucking homeowner out in the middle of nowhere, and this dude comes out and he's like, "Dude, what the fuck? Get off my lawn! Like, get the fuck off my lawn!" But he says it in the most Australian, like nice, like they're like, "Mate, what's up?" And it's fantastic. It's adorable. I'm gonna turn it up a little bit. This is fantastic.
10,000 Australians. It's the project that creates the jobs, and the income limits we've put on. Please. Go get off the grass, please. Sure. Let's just move back from there.
Come on. Hey guys, I've just reseated that.
Yeah, please, off the thing.
Sorry, mate.
All good? That's all good. Thanks. So it's the projects that count. It's the projects that...
Oh, glorious.
I love that he's just like, you could tell he was probably just in his house watching TV, and he's just like, the fuck is going?
This is my fucking lawn.
Are they on the grass? Oh, come on, man.
It's that courteous, like that back and forth though. It's just like, oh yeah, no, mate, we're good. No, thanks. No, cool. Cheers. You're good. It's great. No, but they're both like in their heads are like, the fuck, God, fuck it. I'm in the middle. I'm on the news right now. And the other guy's like, I'm fucking out. I spent all day this weekend fucking cutting that grass down, my man. Yeah. You guys are standing on that shit. Go to the God.
Just like, can you come on, man? Can you get off the grass? Like, just the sad frustration in that man's voice, like. And then it's just like, oh yeah, all right. Can like everybody just take a step? You guys, I'll step back. You guys step forward. Like, just figure it out. And it's just like, just watching them, and then just that one guy that moves like an inch, and he's like, no, man, like, bro, for real, like off. Can you come on, man? You don't have to like fully fucking send it, but just send it. And he's like, yeah, no, come on, don't be an asshole. Like
the moment too where you realize you're on 10 cameras, and it's just like, I don't know. Can we come on, everyone? Can we just please, please? Love it.
That's good shit. I love that. Oh my god, I love that.
Australia, the Canadians of the South, or I don't know what South.
All right, hold on. Let me get this last one out.
Please.
So, do you like amusement parks?
Oh, I know the story. Yes, I do. It's Japan.
Yes.
Uh,
So chat, do you like amusement parks, and do you also like libraries? Because Japan is putting those two things together in a weird way. Japan has on a recent amusement park decided that they're going to ban screaming from the roller coasters. You're not allowed to get on the roller coaster and scream.
Yeah, everyone's trying to, we've got restrictions for COVID, of course. You got to wear your mask. You got to have 30% of your restaurant only open. You got to be, tables are apart from each other, sneeze guards, all that stuff. But yeah, the one big request from the Japanese roller coaster amusement parks that are opening up is please refrain from screaming or yelling of any kind while you're on a roller coaster.
Yeah, so they're like, you can gesture but don't cheer, and they're also telling employees to and I guess this is due to COVID stuff, to obviously do social distancing guidelines, but if they can, don't talk to customers, just kind of gesture at them, or even better, communicate with eye expressions.
Yeah, no, this is the line that the reason I had the story was they're trying to deal with all the new, the distance stuff. So they were like, well, some of our entertainers, it's like haunted house staff at their amusement parks, probably are going to have issues with that and whatnot. Or anyone you've ever been to Disneyland or whatever, or any kind of like an amusement park. And this is a quote. This is, as the new style of customer service, even when you're wearing a mask, you can now use a combination of smiley eyes, hand gestures, and etc. to communicate with your visitors. Yes, this is the world we live in. But if you fucking say the word smiley eyes to me in a fucking presentation, I'm going to fucking slap you. I'm sorry. And it is. I mean, this is a real. Honestly, when it comes down to it, it's a real thing, right? Like we've all had this conversation where I've been at like restaurant, or I've been at a gas station, and I'm trying to communicate with people, and I'm so used to having my face make the conversation, and now I've just got eyes, and I do like a and I realize like no one can see that anymore, so like whatever.
But it's so weird, man. It's so weird to just be like, yeah, just make eyes at somebody, just not like, just get in the car.
Like here, well, I'll make a balloon animal for you. Let me draw a caricature of you. Oh, the caricatures of people with masks on. That's gonna be fun. Oh, Disneyland. My final story then will piggyback on that. This is Colorado. Oh, did this fucking video reset? I'm gonna read. Colorado, Denver, Denver, Colorado is on the same vein as just weird decisions that you have to make when you're trying to reopen and get your shit going. There's a restaurant out in Denver. Where is this? This is like at 54 or something. Yeah. So they decided that it would be a good idea. And you let me know if this is a good idea or not a good idea. This is a quirky bar. This is an eatery in Olive Garden or whatever. Hip vintage vibes and vegan options down here. They got the order that says they can only open as long as they follow the guidelines, which are only like 50% capacity, spread everyone out, and all that stuff. And this so anyways, yeah, this Colorado eatery to help deal with the pandemic times and whatnot thought it would be a good idea to add to the tables that are in between everybody ghosts. So they
you said ghost?
Yeah. So they what the fuck? Why is that? That's a Twitch clip. No, what? Yeah, no, they added ghosts into the tables that are vacant. Oh yeah, I know why. We're on the wrong fuck. Everything reset. Leave it in. There it is. Ghosts. There. Ghosts. They fucking had it. Ghosts. They thought it would make they thought it would make the place feel a little bit more less vacant and empty by adding ghosts to the tables that no one was occupying, which to me just makes it seem like a fucking murder museum, a terrifying place to have any fucking time at. But yeah, many places have gone dark, blah blah blah. Managed to make their colors exactly worse by going dining only. It oddly feels nice to have them, like, even though they're not real people, just some kind of presence at the bar. And so that's their world. That's this owner's decision. Yeah, so you're gonna just go ahead and eat at the bar stool next to these chuckle fucks who are what, I don't know, playing quarters. Like,
I can't even, like, hold on, man.
Not to mention your mood lighting in your bar seems like you're already at a mortician's place. Like, I don't know if I like this. Oh yeah, not to mention what Reggie brings up, because you want to remind people of death during the pandemic. But look at this. This motherfucker is eating a thing of oatmeal and having a little reedy read, and it's...
Hold on. You're gonna be there for a longer than the like 30 to hour and a half like table time that most people want you to fucking take up if you're sitting there reading a fucking book.
Right. Yeah. No. Do you ever? I mean, I don't know. That weirds me out too. You ever just go and be like, oh man, I just want to get a chapter in, yo. I just want to get a fucking chap in. Like, just give me a 30-minute fucking chap.
Yeah. Let me go sit in public and read my fucking book.
Like, if I'm reading a book, I'm gonna be sitting for a while. Like, right? Like, I'm not gonna go out. It's just weird. Book readers are weird. That's what I take away from this.
That is the thing we keyed in on, right? What the fuck are you
They're pouring drinks for these ghosts, though. They got condiments out for these ghosts. Why you got condiments out for ghosts? Ghosts can't eat. It falls out their dumb belly. They're non-belly.
And then there's someone somewhere is gonna come in there fucking with all their friends, get there before them, and pop on one of these fucking ghost things and try to scare everyone. And that's how you get punched in the nose.
I think what's gonna happen is that someone's gonna walk over to the ghost and be like, "Hey, let's take a cool picture with these cool ghosty ghosts," and then the owner's gonna come out really weird like and show his weird colors, and he's gonna be like, "Hey, don't give my ghost COVID because my ghosts are here. Social distance from the ghosts." And it's gonna be a weird conversation where you're gonna be like, "They're just sheets with sticks." That's what that's gonna be. I don't know. I don't trust people anymore. Everyone's crazy in this world. I'm done. I'm done with this podcast, and I'm done with this world.
9 times a day, Curtis, I forget that audiobooks are a thing.
the ghost is listening to an audiobook and reading a book at the same time. Can you do that? Is that a thing that people do? It's like having subtitles on a movie with audio, right? You might as well.
All right. I'm not gonna lie.
That's
I've thought
genius.
about it. I've thought about it. I've thought about like listening to and then following along in an actual book.
It's got to be. I just had that thought, and that's it's got to be a thing.
Yeah.
It's like slowing. It's so slow because you read so much faster than a human talks. Most people, right?
Yeah, most people. Yeah.
Damn. I wonder if you could sell it. That's a weird subtitles for books.
Well, no, isn't that like hold on. I fucking realize how stupid we are, right? Because isn't that what like those old school like kids storybook things used to be? Because you would just literally fucking like push the thing on the story and it would read the fucking page to you.
You have to have Clifford the big red dog bouncing on every word as it passes the screen.
Yeah, it's fucking phonics, dude.
Oh Lord!
We're coming up with products that already exist. Well, not that people don't do that shit every day.
All right, put a thing on your leg. It's called a skip it. You just fucking spin it. It's gonna be great. It counts it.
No, you just now you make that a fucking hardcore workout thing, right?
Yeah, no, yeah.
Do you want to get the most intense leg workout that has ever exist? We put a weight on a pendulum.
We pull your leg this way while you pull that way. It's gonna be great.
And you just have to have a bunch of charts and show muscle growth and hey, ladies, have you been struggling to get that fucking booty that you want for the summer? Get a skip fucking hipper. Skip
hipper.
The booty skip dipper.
I like skip hipper. Skip
hipper.
And you don't even have to fucking make hardware. You don't even have to make any hardware. You just have. It's nowadays, dude. It's fucking 2020. You make a 3D printed plastic fucking leg hoop, and you have a little fucking slot. You put your cell phone in it. Yeah. You spin that shit around. Your fucking cell phone just does all the stupid calculations, man. Get those fucking steps in. Get those steps in while you're hooping, while you're hip hooping.
Skip hipping.
Skip hopping.
Fucking skiphopping.com. Fucking check out our products.
We gotta pivot hard and just make fucking workout equipment. We get Panda in here. We make workout equipment, and fucking Panda comes up with names for fucking like fuel and shit. G Fuel fucking bullshit. Like he just comes up with cool names. Fucking unicorn blood. Like let's just get hard on that protein powder, and then we just sell shit. It's great.
Yeah, it's good shit, man.
Love
my
it.
God. All right. I think on that, coming up with a new product line, I think we're gonna call that the end of the fucking episode, boys.
Yeah. We gotta work on our fucking our sales at this point. We've now pivoted. Whelp is done. Every Sunday is now going to be meetings and focus groups on the skip hipper. Watermelon Buster. I like that, Curtis. It's great. But yeah, but we're done.
Hold those glutes. All right. Thank you guys for checking us out. Thank you for joining us. I know we've been kind of weird with the episodes, but little by little we'll get there. This has been a weird year. And we're just trying to fucking be less weird with it. But definitely make sure you follow the channel, twitch.tv/drunkkidsgaming. Make sure you follow the podcast. Go on over to the website, dkgtv.com, to follow us and see links to all the things that we talked about on this show. And join our Discord. Go on down there and join our Discord. Hang out with us, play games with us, do all those kind of things. And just fucking, man, just at this point, make it to next year. Just make it to next year.
The goal is to hold firm, hold hard, hold strong. We're gonna get through it, guys. And then we're gonna make it big in the pharmaceutical. No, not pharmaceutical. Sorry, in the workout equipment. Workout and sports. That's our new thing. Love it. I love you guys so much. Oh yeah, shit. And Kaz, for those that don't know, he's been streaming. He's gonna be partner. Everyone that comes through here is gonna be partner. Kaz gonna be partner. Follow his channel. Someone link to it. I don't have a fucking link to King Kaz's fucking channel.
Twitch.tv/KingKaz. Pretty easy.
Everyone have a great night. Stick around. We'll make titles. I love you guys so much. See you tomorrow. With end button. End button.